And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to more I Wanna Find My Destiny. And this time we are quite close to the end, to the very end of the game. Or at least that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, sadly, before I started playing the game, as I mentioned at the beginning, I got spoiled on the README file that this game has. Because, a README file is usually supposed to be read, right? So I read that, and I basically saw how many stages this had. And it said that it had 10 stages. So this is the last one. This is the last one. So obviously we are pretty close to the end, I'm assuming, right? Though someone told me yesterday that the final boss of this game is as hard as the rest of the game. Kinda like Solgreen from Boshi, right? You know how Solgreen in Boshi is, Solgreen in Boshi is quite an asshole, right? I mean, it's pretty much the hardest thing in the whole game, well, except for one optional boss, but, it's basically what you could call harder than everything else. Hey Yami, how is it going? The final boss of this game was nerfed all around since release, so maybe not too bad now. Alright, I get you. Well, we're about to find out. I don't know how long it's gonna be until we get there, but I don't think it's gonna be that long. What it's probably gonna be long is trying to, get there without dying 1,000 times. But then again, that's pretty much the point of the game. We are bound to die 1,000 times. You're gonna be pretty precise. And it's pretty, challenging to think of a stage like this, without taking into account spikes that are right next to you, right? So obviously the spikes change every time you press jump. So you have to think your immediate spikes as spikes that, are not gonna hit you, even though they are right in front of you, right? But at the same time, you gotta think about the spikes you leave behind. The spikes you leave behind are also not completely behind, because depending on where you're standing, an additional jump will be lethal. Like for example here. Well, it didn't happen there, but that jump right there seems like it's gonna be a little bit hard to do. There is a game. What I'm about to say, I know that it's probably not a good thing. I think I already said it, and I think Yami facepalm at it. Well, that's the usual behavior, so I'm not really concerned, but basically, I feel really compelled of playing. At some point, I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be anytime soon, but at some point, I wanna stream the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Yes, I know that what I should say, you're probably gonna want to facepalm to oblivion, but I don't know. I feel like they are nice games for what they are. I mean, they are obviously not perfect, but nobody's perfect. I do not remember this facepalm. Well, now you're gonna remember it, right? I don't know, bro. I feel like they are decent. I mean, everyone likes to say how terrible they are and how you have to stay away from them, but not worth facepalm. Alright. But it's the same people that bitch about Undertale. I mean, Undertale as a game is a good game. Yeah, sure, it has a pretty questionable fanbase, but who gives a shit, right? What's important is the game. And Five Nights at Freddy, I feel like as a game, it's a good one, as in it is challenging. take away the scare factor, the lore, and all that shit that I don't care about. The gameplay itself, when you get to the end, it's pretty challenging and pretty, like, nerve-wracking, right? Because obviously you don't want to get jump scared. At the same time, you have to be super focused to be able to win. So I don't know, I feel like it is a really good game. At least the first 4 ones? Wait, the 4th one? Oh, I remember the 4th one. Yeah, the 4th one was pretty nice. I don't remember if it had more than those. I remember he released a free-to-play game called... I don't remember the name, but it was basically free-to-play and you had characters from every single game. That one is more like a shock more than anything, but I feel like the first 4 games are pretty decent. I don't know. I feel like that's the case. And I never played them. I obviously seen playthroughs of it, so I know everything. But, you know, to play them will be an interesting experience. I don't know. I don't know if you would like to see it, but I know that I would like to play it. Oh, I jumped too late. God damn it. And the thing here is that after you do this jump to be able to get through this, you are supposed to fall all the way here. And how the fuck do I do this jump? What the hell is this jump? Jesus Christ. Alright. Well, we're gonna find that out at some point. Well, at some point when we can actually get there, you know. This is still not something that I can see. Though this room, I might be wrong and I'm probably wrong, but this room gives me Final Room vibes. I don't know. Because comparing this room to all of the previous rooms of this castle, this one I think is by far the hardest one. I think this one is by far the hardest one. So it might be the last one. Hopefully. I say hopefully mostly because if there is another one, it's probably gonna be harder than this. And if it's harder than this, it's gonna be quite a pain in the ass. And I'm already struggling getting to the very first save. So you can imagine that getting to the end of the room might be an adventure. Too much to the left. You need... This curve is so precise. Because you gotta go to the left, but not so much so you don't get hit by this. But at the same time, the gravity here is gonna be insane, and you gotta land here. So this part... I don't know. It's gonna be beautiful. Oh, I fucked that up. I also will be really disappointed if the final boss is not Dracula. I don't know who it's gonna be, but come on. You can't give me a Dracula castle and not have Dracula as the final boss. Like, come on, bro. Oh, almost got it. Like, that's the biggest cock tease that I can think of. Can't just give me Castlevania without Dracula. It's just not the way it should be. But I don't know. Won't be able to know that until we get there. It's shaping up quite nicely for this to be Castlevania final boss. Even if it's not Dracula, I will really expect it to be related to Castlevania. It has to. It has to be. And if it's not, I don't know what other boss will be worthy of a Dracula castle. I fucked that up in the same way again. Also, I don't know why, but I think I kinda remember this room. And I don't mean because of this mechanic, because I know that this mechanic, you know, it's something that exists in other fan games and other shit, I know. But I'm talking that this room in particular, it's like I already seen it. I know that you're gonna say deja vu. But yeah, it is like a deja vu. It's like I already seen this room before. Where? I don't know. It definitely was another streamer, but I don't remember if it was this room or it was a room similar to this one. Ah, Tim, that's so precise. We'll see. At least I want to get to the save. Well, it's not like the second portion of this looks anything better, but hey, at least there will be some progress. This was definitely the best room to stop yesterday. If I actually kept going in this room, can you imagine? We'll have been still streaming at, you know, at this hour. Too high. Hey Clowncat, how is it going? I'm right here just dodging some bloody spikes. Or bloody pikes, more than spikes. I think these are pikes that trigger with your shump. At least you can control them. Whew, okay. So this shump has to be a short jump into another short jump. Ah, that's so hard to do. Short jump into a short jump there. I knew it was fucked up since I seen it before, but damn. Seems pretty fucked up. Well, at least it seems like I can semi-consistently get in there. That's good. Semi-consistently. That's consistently enough. Also, did you all see the the new chapter in the Toho manga? Sometimes it's funny to read the official manga just to see people that think of some characters as in some way to get their expectations shattered, because some of their expectations are so stupid. And in this case, one of the expectations was pretty shattered, thankfully. You should read it. What do you think of it? You like it? There is one part that I like quite a lot because of the reason that I just mentioned. Do people still believe that Flan is all cute and stuff? Yeah, I know, that's the part that I really like. To all those assholes that for some reason think that Flan is that cute girl that is completely innocent and will not harm anyone. Come on, bro. Yeah, that's why I'm so happy about that chapter. Seeing Flandre being a psychotic bitch, as it should be. That's what really refreshes my soul a lot. For all those assholes that think that Flandre is supposed to be your cutie, you know, girly girl, get fucked. I mean, I know that Flandre is one of those characters with the least amount of characterization in the series, despite being one of the most popular. But dude, where do you take the idea that Flandre is an innocent girl? Touhou Sits, like the first appearance and one of the obviously the most important ones, already had her as a pretty, you know, a couple of screws loose girl, right? That already should give you enough clues. But then, if that wasn't enough, you had perfect Memento in strict sense. You know, that written work from a long time ago that has all the characters up until Touhou 9, that explains the characters in detail from Akiu's point of view. And by judging by Flandre dialogue there, do you really think she wasn't fucking crazy when she say that she can close her hand and make things explode just like if it was a game? You didn't think there that Flandre was a little bit, you know, on the other side of things? Yeah, Remilia's just giggling about it, I know. That's the best part. Like, the thing is, everyone that thinks that the Scarlet Devil Mansions is a normal family full of people that is just powerful, but it doesn't have anything else, like, get fucked. That's all I have to say to you. Get fucked. I mean, how can you think that the Scarlet Devil Mansion is normal? I don't know. Damn, there we go. Damn, I guess shitting on people really gives me good luck. Pretty nice. Guess I should do it more often. Despite the amount of fan wars depicting her as psychopaths, were still like, no, she's not crazy. Yeah, but you know, whatever the fan war says is not important. What's important is what the official work says. And every official work that I know of was like, you know, she's a little bit unstable. But yeah, there were some people, obviously not everyone, but some people that were like, no, Flandre is a cutie pie, she will never do all that terrible stuff. And then here we just find out that she was about to murder Mei Ling, literally. Up until the crew arrived in time to tell her that she was not the culprit. And get fucked, that's all I have to say, just get fucked. That's fine. That's justice. That's just poetic justice. See, the thing is, when you don't have expectations, it's impossible to get them shattered. When it comes to Touhou and the personality of characters and all of that, I don't have any expectations at all. So I know that my favorite characters can all of the sudden be the biggest bitches in canon, and that's fine, because I don't have any unrealistic expectation of them. I mean, Kanako, which is my second favorite character, I know how much of an asshole she is. I'm not gonna pretend like she's a nice god caring for the humans in Gensoki or something like that. I know she's a piece of shit, and that's fine, because that's part of her character. I don't pretend her to be something that she's not. Wait, how do I do this? Oh shit, that's pretty hard. Mei Ling confirmed to just be a doofus. Yeah, I don't remember who was it, the one that called her a doofus. I think it was Remilia, right? I think it might have been Remilia. how do I do this? Am I even supposed to do it this way? Yeah. You're supposed to do it that way. Okay. That works. That works, but we gotta be a little bit more precise. I wonder about the last part. Shouldn't be a problem, I think. Can this guy jump? Yeah. Okay, he can jump 2 squares with a single jump. I wonder if he will be able to do that jump down there with only one jump, or I will need to aid myself with another one. Hey Drano, thanks for the sub. 7 months, huh? Just to say fuck Touhou, damn. That was money well spent if you ask me. I will definitely pay to say fuck Touhou and it be highlighted. Yep. Especially when you see things like that. When you see things like that in the manga and you see people being butthurt about it. But then again, it's less about fuck Touhou and more about fuck the Touhou fanbase. I think that's the important thing. Because, you know, I mean, sure, the manga can be a disappointment, but I'm already used to the official mangas being a disappointment. I mean, I tried to read Wild and Hornet Hermit, and I tried to read Forbidden Scrollery, and no matter how many people tell me that they are good wars, I feel like they fucking suck. I couldn't even finish them, they were so boring I had to stop. Literally, I'm not making that up. I had to stop because it was so bad. Well, not bad, I guess. Okay, let's not use words like bad. It was boring, that's what it was. And I had to stop reading it. It really was like, I felt like I was wasting my time reading that manga. So yeah, it's fuck Touhou team. Honestly, find secondary getting upset quite funny. I mean, I wouldn't use that word, you know me, but I definitely find fans that don't know shit or that think that the characters are something that they, well, yeah, I guess I'm pretty much defining what a secondary is. But no, the thing is, yeah, I also find it pretty amusing. Because it's like, what did you expect, dude? Did you really expect Flandre to be a good girl? An innocent, pure maiden? Like, do you really expect that? Well, get fucked if you expected that. But yeah, it's pretty nice. And also, for some reason, there is also the shippers, right? Shippers, or I don't know how to call them, which is people that ship characters together. Even though Touhou, you know, is a series that has none of that, right? Not even a clue of that. But you know, for some reason there are some fans that love to do that. And that's fine. I mean, it's fine that you're invested enough to do that. The problem is that some fans get pretty upset when you disagree on or something happens that goes against their ship, right? And in this case, I still don't know how this is even a ship. Apparently there are some people that ship Mei Ling and Sakuya, right? Obviously they are probably a minority considering the amount of people that ship Remili and Sakuya, right? It was quite amusing that because in one of the chapters, Mei Ling kind of like talks pretty coldly to Sakuya. They are like, no, this can't be, Bruce. So yeah, get fucked is what I'm trying to say. And come on, Bruce, Sakuya and Mei Ling. What else is next? Genshi and Rinosuke. Just because they are both male. Come on, bro. Because, you know, the problem of people that ship characters together, they usually are so... like, they lack so much creativity, it's crazy. Because, you know, you could ship characters based on personality, ship characters based on, you know, something that could be considered either smart or original. There are so many motherfuckers that only ship characters just because they are in the same game and 2 stages between each other, right? I seen motherfuckers ship Mayumi and Keiki just because they appear in the same game and they are from the same place. I mean, I understand, but like, if you're gonna do something as unoriginal as shipping, at least try to make it original. But no, they can't even do that. That is true for all fan bases. Yeah, it's just that the only quote-unquote fan base that I am invested in, I don't know, invested is not the word, but like the only fan base that I'm aware of, because it's the only one that I almost give a shit about, is Toho, right? So seeing this kind of stuff is pretty amusing to me. But yeah. But what's even worse about shipping is because, again, in a game like Toho, there is no indication in canon that characters are interested in each other romantically. Like, there is none. So you are inventing everything just for the sake of it. Which is fine, but, I mean, don't get upset when it gets shattered, because it was never a thing in the first place. But all of a sudden, when in canon something happens that goes against your ship, ooh, a shot right in the heart. And basically just got what you deserve. Oh, I was supposed to go faster, okay. So yeah, you know, it's still funny. And what's even funnier is that all of this gets debunked in a manga that is pretty mediocre itself. So that's what makes it even funnier. Oh shit. Wait. Oh, wind? Okay, temporary wind. Oh, this might be a problem. Might be more than a problem. Oh. And the wind seems to be... well, at least you can see the clouds. I'm assuming that that broken column is a platform. And you really are gonna be dirty like this, huh? Wow, okay. Wait, I can't jump there. I thought I could, but no, I'm supposed to jump to the right? Sure, I don't mind. Yeah. Was talking about, yeah, like the funniest part of all this is that all of these hopes and dreams are getting shattered by a pretty mediocre manga. If at least it was a really good work, you will be like, you know, get fucked, but at least, you know, it will be a little bit more, you know, I don't know how to say it, but basically it wouldn't be that fun if it was a decent, a really, really good work. But in such a mediocre work like Cheating Detective Satori is, it's even funnier. Because, you know, as I say before, all or at least most of the Toho mangas are pretty shitty. The official ones I'm talking about, not fan-made. The official ones, at least to me, most of them are completely shitty. So, the thing about this one, Cheating Detective Satori, is that it's shitty, right? But differently from the other ones, it's not even drawn properly. So that's what makes it even funnier. Like if it at least was drawn properly, like it had good art, at least you will be okay. The manga kinda sucks, but you get good art, official good art of the character, which is something that you usually don't get. Yeah, I read you, Clone Cat. Go left with the wine. Yeah, with the wind. Sorry. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea, but I have to find the right timing for that. Yeah, seems like that's the idea here. So yeah, the point is, cheating Detective Satori fucking sucks, and the fanbase sucks even more. Yeah, that's a too long didn't listen version of what I just was rambling about. Oh, really? Where is the save point? Come on, bro. You're not gonna give me a save point here? Also, I don't like that gargoyle. Wait, is this jump doable? No, I'm supposed to go to the left, okay. Now, ooh, that's gonna suck. That's gonna fucking suck. Alright. Please give me, there we go. Thanks for the save point. What's this? They don't trigger? They probably trigger when I go through, right? No? Oh, they are time-based. Well, that's beautiful. Interesting. Oh, this is a labyrinth? It looks like a labyrinth. Am I supposed to go through every phase? Maybe. No. Actually, this is a puzzle then. Okay. Well, can I go back? No. Okay. So, if this is a puzzle, what do we have here? We have seats, lion statues that I don't think they are gonna be important. No, wait. Wait. There are some that are already triggered. Never mind. Wait, so I just have to go this way? I was about to stand there like a dumbass thinking, oh shit. Alright. What's this? There's a question mark but nothing pops up. That's weird because the previous question mark actually had something to tell me, but this one has nothing. Am I supposed to click it with the mouse? Am I supposed to do something specific here? Am I stupid? Maybe. Doesn't seem like the mouse can do much. Oh, I can go back. I don't like that. I can go back. Well, I say I can go back, but can I really go back? Well, not from above, probably from below though. Do I wanna go back though? I mean, this question mark should be showing something, but it's not showing anything. I can move these pieces around, I think. Am I supposed to touch the numpad? Because I understand, I kinda understand this puzzle. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to move this, you know, so you can form the labyrinth to be able to pass. But I don't know which key I'm supposed to... Okay, not that one. That was the suicide key. The problem is that I don't want to start pressing keys. If you leave the character in the platform and use the mouse, I try that, but it doesn't work. Like, you're probably seeing the pointer and it's not doing anything. Also, how is it going, Mr. Oldham? The numpad doesn't work either. I don't think shift works here. That's really weird. Well, the weirdest part is that this question mark should trigger something, but it's not triggering shit. The arrows? No. Don't move the character. Yeah, I'm not moving it. It's right there. Oh, you mean that I put it here and then... Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, there it is. You have to be here, but that's weird. It doesn't tell me anything. Yeah, you're supposed to stand here and then move this with the right click. Damn, stoner ass game. Thanks, Aldo. Okay. Wait, isn't that enough? Can I just do this? What kind of puzzle was that? Uh-oh. Shit. Mortal Kombat? Is this Mortal Kombat? Sounds a little bit like Mortal Kombat. I'm not completely sure. No, I don't think it's Mortal Kombat. Damn, so it keeps going, huh? No, this is definitely not Mortal Kombat. If it's not Mortal Kombat, what is it? It's probably from a pretty popular game that a lot of people played and I didn't. So yeah. Oh shit. This is a tower-like place where the final boss is gonna be at the end of. Ah, too high. I almost got it. You know, I'm pretty surprised that there are so many tracks for stage 10, because I remember when I spoiled myself by reading the readme file in the game directory, I remember it saying that it had 10 stages, but I remember that it only said that it had 2 songs for stage 10. Maybe I misread. Well, I didn't really read it because I was like, I don't want to spoil myself any further. I don't want to spoil myself what the music is. But I remember it having 2 instead of, well, 4, because so far we have 3 songs and the final boss is definitely gonna have another one. Damn it. Well, I guess my hopes that this is gonna be Dracula as a final boss are a little bit shattered now. That's a shame. Dracula should be the final boss of every game in existence. Doesn't matter what game you have, Dracula should be the final boss of it. Doesn't matter which one, doesn't matter the genre, doesn't matter the story, you need to have Dracula as the final boss in every game. It's only fitting. And after all, since Dracula is so fucking old, you can use the copyright without problem, because as far as I know, it's not a copyright anymore. It's free. So, not only it's perfect, but you also don't have to do any creative work. Is Sonic Song? Sonic Song? Sonic which game? Sonic... Maybe from Sonic Adventure 2, because I didn't finish that game, so maybe it's from that game. The Generation, damn, but I play Sonic Generations. Well, obviously I don't remember every song, so I'm assuming this is one of those Eggman fights that I didn't give a shit about and first beating the first try. Probably. Interesting. It's from Sonic Generations. Yeah, I did play that game. Pretty good game, by the way. Is the final boss in? I can't believe that. It's from the final boss. I guess the final boss was so generic that I don't even remember. Then again, a lot of the modern Sonic games have pretty generic final bosses. I mean, well, not like the old games have anything special either, but at least in the older ones, since they were significantly harder, you could remember them, at least just by pure PTSD, right? So for example, you can pretty well remember that in Sonic 1 the final boss was Eggman with platform that crushed you. Sonic 2 was the walking Eggman where you had to beat in one hit. I mean, you couldn't get hit because you had no ring, so you had to beat that boss without getting hit. In Sonic 3, I actually remember it because of how fucking bizarre it is. In Sonic 3 the final boss is a robot that Eggman uses with two giant arms. It's so bizarre because it's so unpractical, right? And then Sonic and Knuckles, well, obviously that game you have to remember the final boss because it's pretty much, I will say, the best final boss of any Sonic game. The one in Sonic and Knuckles. Amazing final boss. Probably, well, a lot of people say it's the pinnacle of Sonic, and for good reason. Final boss of Sonic and Knuckles it's so well done. It's just so well done. Team. We're gonna get stuck on this section, huh? The worst part is that I almost beat this. I almost got to the save. But nope, not enough. I really would like to stream more Sonic myself, but I know that Sonic might not be the best spectator stream. You know, I have this feeling in my mind that the more fun a game is, the worse it is as an spectator game. Obviously, if as a streamer you are really charismatic, I think the game you play really barely matters. But if you don't have that, you kinda depend on your game. And I feel like the most fun the game is, the worse it is to stream. Because obviously people watch either what they can play or what they don't want to play. So if you play a really shitty game, the chances of a lot of people watching you just because they don't want to go through that are pretty big. But if I play something like Sonic that is actually, for the most part, good games, it's like nobody gives a shit because they will play it themselves. I mean, after all, it's not like the Sonic games are incredibly hard or anything like that. So this can be played by anyone. So yeah, I have that feeling. And it's pretty sad because there's a lot of games that sometimes I would love to play, but at the same time, I understand that they are not good spectator games. Well, I also know that Opus Magnum is not a good spectator game, but at least that game is a game that I never played before. So, it's pretty good to me because it's also a new experience. If I play Sonic, I pretty much played 80% of the Sonic games. Well, probably a little bit less than 80%. There were a lot of games like, for example, The Secret Rings or Black Knight that I didn't play. But there are a lot of others that I did play. And I would love to play again, but It seems like it's one of those things that will be better for, you know, to play by myself. Because it's also about the fact that if you don't play something for the first time, you also can get surprised by anything. Reacting to things that are happening is not the same as reacting to them for the first time. So obviously if I play something like Sonic and Knuckles, you know, the really amazing sections, I will be like, yeah, sure, because I already played it, I know what's happening. So yeah. Nice. But yeah. Oh shit. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. This is a time... Okay. Oh, I didn't see those spikes. And those spikes were invisible for my eyes. Invisible spikes, huh? But there is, now that I think about it, it might not be a good idea to play Mario, sorry, Sonic, but it might be a good idea to play Mario. Because Mario games, most of them I didn't play them. Most of the Mario games, as you can see, I'm not a Nintendo guy, right? So Mario, which is obviously a staple of Nintendo, I only played a couple of Mario games and that's it. So playing Mario might be a good idea at some point to start playing all of the Mario games. Fuck. But I don't know. I also thought about the Metroid games. The Metroid games seem like it also might be a good idea because I also didn't play them. We will see. Again, the Mario and the Metroid games being pretty good might make it a bad idea for a stream game. Damn it. I'm surprised that Yami didn't use this opportunity for saying that I was implying that Touhou is bad, since a lot of people seem to be interested in watching Touhou. It was a missed opportunity, Yami, come on. It's a pretty big missed opportunity. You have to find every opportunity possible to shit on Touhou. You just miss a pretty big one. Shake my head. You know, I will expect someone that shoots shoins and doesn't know what I usually play or like to think that I hate Touhou, right? When in fact it's probably one of my favorite franchises there is. But, you know, shitting on the things you like is pretty funny too. Pretty fun, I would say. It's fuck Touhou. Yeah, I know that you shit on Touhou there. You gotta shit on Touhou on every opportunity, otherwise you're just wasting opportunities, man. You gotta use those opportunities. Nice. Oh, wall jumps. Team, and they seem like they are gonna be a pain in the ass. They are... Wait, where's the save point? Oh, it's there, okay. Okay, you're supposed to drop yourself there. Also, it's pretty interesting to note that it seems like a lot of fun games like to end the game on a tower. Like the last stage before the boss. Well, I mean, I know that the original I Wanna Be the Guy game had a tower as the final stage, so it's fitting that fun games are actually trying to to replicate that, but you know, pretty interesting because it's cool. I mean, I like towers. It gives you that feeling of, you know, getting to a pretty high place where the summit of your adventure is. That's pretty nice. Even Boshi had a tower. Damn, and I didn't want to remember Boshi's tower because holy shit, Boshi's tower was a pain in the ass. But hey, at least I beat it. I think it also had Dr. Wily's music, right? Boshi's tower. Hey Brabby, how is it going? We're getting close. Close to the end. How close? I'm not sure, but pretty close. Oof. Now what? That. Okay. Nice. Got the save. Hey Riemann, how is it going? Are you copying Brabby? Probably say the same thing. Is this tower from Not Another Needle game? Of course not. What part of this tower reminds you of Not Another Needle game? The hell? Differently from Not Another Needle game, this tower looks cool. Yes, I will keep shitting on that fun game because I didn't like it. I know that for a lot of you it's the holy grail, but I think that that fun game fucking sucked. So I'm sorry if I insult anyone by insulting that fun game, but yeah, fuck that fun game. I will also say fuck the creator, but the problem is that the creator also made another game that people recommend me to play, so I don't think I can shit on the creator yet. I have to wait a little bit, just to be sure, right? Riemann is my alt. Yeah. Well, this is something that I thought the other day. Both Riemann and you really like talking about stuff without giving it context. So Riemann being your alt seems like a pretty, you know, a pretty believable evidence. I got to 2-4 on the rush run with miss 1-3 at Sten. Nice. Is that good? And you know, now that I think about it, the Russian flag and the French flag, they both have the same colors. So maybe we're onto something here. We might be onto something here. Imagine Brabby playing DDP. I mean, you can make fun of Brabby all you want, but Brabby is actually a good player. At least a good Touhou player. I don't know if that ability extends to other Danmaku games, but he's a pretty good Touhou player. So, he probably can do DDP if he really wanted to. This corridor with the mini spike made me think, like, what if they had more spikes to the point where you have to move like in Shunko Fort Spell? Oh, don't worry, there are a lot of fun games like that. Like, you don't have to worry about that. You know the amount of shitty ass fun games that basically have frame perfect, pixel perfect movement multiple times in a row that are barely doable for any human. So don't worry, those fun games exist and they are pretty numerous. Don't worry. So yeah. He don't play cave and I don't do no bombs. We call those games garbage. Yeah, I think that's the appropriate way of calling them. Because, you know, obviously making a game hard is pretty nice and all, but something that a lot of people forget is that game. I know that this is gonna sound crazy, right? I know, but games are supposed to be fun. Yes, I know, that's a revelation. That's, you know, like an incredible affirmation that nobody has thought of before. But games are actually supposed to be fun. Can you believe that? So obviously, when you have a game that is incredibly hard, to the point where only 2 or 3 people in the world can beat it, like, you know, can you really call that game fun? I mean, sure, maybe for those 2 or 3 people in the world, maybe it's fun for them. But it's like, that's not a pretty big sample, you know? Yeah, exactly. Fun is not the same as fun. Perfect for Gabby's streams. And there it goes. See, you should have shitted on Touhou, and instead of shitting on Touhou, you're shitting on my stream, Yummy. God damn it. Rebellious bastards. We should have never called those games cheap shit. Yeah, and if you're a weeb like Riemann, you will call them kusoges. So yeah, we have a lot of ways to call those kind of games. But, you know, it's no wonder why this game was recommended to me. This game is pretty well done. So far, I don't want to, you know, talk and then have to take back what I said. But so far, and since we are already almost at the end of the game, I think there shouldn't be problem saying this, but this game has been a top tier experience. Really, really well done. There are some bosses that I feel like they fucking suck, yes, but there are only like 2 or 3 bosses like that in the game. Like that will be the stage 2 boss, the stage 4 boss. What was the stage 5 boss? Damn, I don't remember. Who was the stage 5 boss? Oh, the plant. Yeah, that one was half and half. It had a lot of memorization shit, but for the most part it could have been worse. So it's mostly the stage 2 and stage 4 boss, the one that fucking sucked. So that's a pretty good statistic. 2 out of 10. Well, I still haven't seen the boss of this place, so I can't talk for them yet, but you know, out of the 9 that I played, only 2 sucking is a pretty good statistic. So I will say good shit. I mean, the stage 3 boss kinda was a little bit like that, but it was more annoying than shitty. It didn't need that much memorization, but it was just pretty slow. Like basically being invincible the first 20 seconds of the fight didn't help, but I wouldn't call it as shitty as the stage 2 and 4 boss were, so honestly, it's fine. Yeah, the weed that looked like, the one that had the phallic shape, that one in particular. Here? Yeah. Another. I don't like these question marks. Press shoot button to switch electricity. Okay. Oh, that's probably why it didn't appear on the previous one, because in order to see the model that pops up from this, you have to press up. I don't think I pressed up before. So I have to switch electricity with the shot button. Okay. Well, it's gonna be a problem to remember, but Let's see. After this, where am I supposed to go then? To the left? Yeah, it looks like it, right? To the left? Yeah, you have to do... Can you get killed by... Okay. Yeah, the crosses kill you. No, you can't step on those things. Those things kill you. Yeah, I was also thinking the same thing, but no. You can't step on that. This looks different. A little bit. Well, it's one of the only scrolling stages in the game, so yeah. I can definitely see it being a little bit different. How is it going, Yannick, by the way? Jesus. This one. Okay. This is gonna be a problem. I have to shoot 3 times here. I think I have to shoot 3 times. I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, could have been worse. Oh, I don't know here. Okay, I have to mine that electricity down there. That looks so dangerous. I understand, but... Okay, there we go. Whew, there's more? Oh no, and there is an elevator section. Holy shit, are you... Of course, we couldn't have a tower without an elevator. Alright. Wait, why are they not... Oh, these don't switch. Alright, I gotcha. So these shoes don't switch. Oh, well, I'm probably supposed to save there. Oh, I'm probably supposed to jump there. It seems to be pretty memorized. Like, you have to probably memorize this a lot. Oh, even with fucking wall jumps and shit. This game looks cool. Maybe one day I should try some I Wanna Be the Guy stuff. Yeah, for sure. I know that a lot of people don't recommend it. But honestly, I disagree with those people. But you should play the original one. The first I Wanna Be the Guy. The one that basically spawned all of these fan games. And once you do that, then you can see where you wanna branch. But I definitely think you should play I Wanna Be the Guy first. I mean, that's not really a crazy recommendation, but a lot of people don't seem to want to recommend that game for some reason. It's like, it's the game that started it all, the one that is, you know, if it wasn't for that, none of this would exist. But for some reason, a lot of people say that the original I Wanna Be the Guy is not that good, which I disagree. It's a really good game. I'll start from original if I want to get into it. Yeah, that's what I did. That was my first game to get into this. It's good. It's obviously pretty troll, right? That's the point, but you know, it's troll in a good way. I wouldn't say that it's troll in a bad way. Like, you don't have trolls that you will be like, this is complete trash. They are reasonable trolls. Obviously, trolls that you can react to. It's not like I'm gonna pretend like you can react to them. No, they are gonna kill you the first time for sure. But it's because the original is very different. It's worth playing, but it doesn't really compare to most other fan games. I don't know, dude. I will say that both Boshi and the original I Wanna Be the Guy have a pretty similar soul. Even if Boshi obviously has a lot more production value, it's longer and all you want to add, yes, but I feel like both Boshi and I Wanna Be the Guy have a pretty similar style. Like a pretty similar soul. I wouldn't say that they are similar in probably the way they play, but you know, it really looks like it was I Wanna Be the Guy too. I know that there is I Wanna Be the Guy Gaiden. After all, game that hooked me into non-Touhou Danmaku game was game that shaped the genre. Wait, game that hooked me into non-Touhou Danmaku was game that shaped the genre. Are we talking about Dodonpachi here? Will you say that? I don't think Dodonpachi shaped the genre. I wouldn't say Dodonpachi was the one that shaped the genre. There were a lot of others that were a lot sooner than Dodonpachi, and I will say that they were a little bit more relevant. Boshi isn't a good one either. Yeah, I also don't understand how people can say that Boshi is good, but you know, it is what it is. That's the reason why for such a long time I tried to avoid playing fun games, because, you know, it's like my opinions pretty, like, they differ a lot from the usual I Wanna Be the Guy player, so maybe I should be playing something else instead. Because obviously Draenor is not the only one that says that Boshi is not as good as other fun games. But to me, Boshi is a complete masterpiece. You can say it's because I didn't play enough fun games, but you know, even if I really like this one I Wanna Find My Destiny, I will still prefer Boshi before this one. I know that you're gonna call me a heretic for saying that, but that's what I think. I obviously enjoy Boshi a lot to the point where I can say something like that. DDP basically spawned all that thousands bullet stuff. Are you sure about that? 'Cause I'm pretty sure Dodonpachi is not that old. There were older games that kinda had that already. I will even mention 1945. Yeah, like not even 1945. I'm pretty sure 1942, which is even older. I mean, yeah, there weren't literally 1,000 bullets, but they were quite a bit, you know, more than, say, obviously the really old ones like Space Invaders and shit, which wouldn't even be considered Danmaku because there aren't really that many bullets on screen. Strikers is more on classic shoot 'em up. I feel like you should. Well, I don't know if you played it, but if you played 1945, that game has patterns that they literally have thousands of bullets on screen, and the worst part is that the hitbox of your ship, well, of your plane, not ship, is, you know, not just a pixel like in Dodonpachi, it's way bigger than a pixel. So I don't know, dude, I would say that 1945 counts as a Danmaku game, not just a classic shoot 'em up. I thought the same of Boshi when I started. Boshi is still a great game, but not as an I Wanna fun game. Yeah, that's kind of what I don't understand, but that's fine. I mean, I guess maybe I will understand someday, maybe not. Probably not, but that's fine. Because, you know, it's kind of like making that affirmation right there. It will remind me of someone saying that Touhou 8 is a good game, but not a good Touhou game. And I really wouldn't be able to process that. Because Touhou 8 is pretty much like, you know, well, what a lot of people consider the pinnacle of Touhou, because, and for good reason. The one that had the most features, the one that had, you know, one of the most iconic patterns, the one that had, you know, such a distinct feeling from everything else. So it's kind of like saying that, like, I can imagine someone saying Touhou 8 is a good game but not a good Touhou game, right? So someone saying Boshi is a good game but not a good fun game, that's what it reminds me of. It really reminds me of that, because Touhou 8 is pretty much the best Touhou game there is, to me at least. Even though it's not even my favorite one. But if I had to be objective, like the most objective I can, I will say that Touhou 8 is the best Touhou game there is. So I feel like someone saying that about Boshi, it kind of will remind me of someone saying that about Touhou 8. I don't know if it's a fair comparison, probably not, but it just reminds me of someone saying that. I know that they are probably pretty far comparisons. If the hitbox is more than 1 pixel, it's not Tanma. Touhou 4 and 8 are, in my opinion, the best STGs to start from. Kinda. I mean, Touhou 8 for sure. Yeah, I will say that Touhou 4 is... I mean, the problem with Touhou 4 is the accessibility. If Touhou 4 was a little bit more accessible, I will also agree with that. The fact that you have to set up the emulator is something that a lot of people can do. And I don't blame them. I mean, not everyone has to be tech savvy to play a game, you know? So, makes sense. Not to mention that Touhou 4, depending on what emulator you play it, it can soft lock. If you play with Reimu on stage 5, when you encounter Yuka, it just fucking soft locks. Depending on what emulator you use, again, but yeah, that's definitely not a good thing. Next episode is Bravious breaking the game via Lilies. And see, it's kind of like... Wait, you mean Shunko Lilies, the Murderous Lilies, the Satsui no Lilies, or whatever the fuck they are called. This is the shit to start from is FDF. You know, FDF is a pretty fun case here, right? A lot of people say that FDF is an amazing game, better than the official Touhou games. I mean, I won't deny that it's a pretty good game, but to say that it's better than the official games? I know that Yami here is gonna proceed to call me a soon dick rider, but to call FDF better than the official games, it's like, I don't know, bro, I think you might be exaggerating a little bit. Sure, it's a good game, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pure Yurist? Yeah, I know, because Lily, I think, yeah, it is Yuri. DDC. Well, I don't know if I will exactly say DDC, but FDF focused too much on the gimmicky side. Yeah, kinda. Well, it's not even about that. It's the fact that a lot of people that call it, you know, better than Touhou games, it's not like they give you a really compelling argument for it. Because, yeah, it looks good. It has good graphics. It has quote-unquote epic remixes. And that's great, but gameplay-wise, it's good, yes, but I wouldn't ever call it better than the official Touhou games. Not all of them. Yes, I will call it better than UFO, but if you use UFO as an example, we have the bar set a little bit too low, don't you think? But yeah, you know, I don't know. FDF, it's for sure a good game to play, but I wouldn't use it as a starting point, and I also wouldn't recommend it Oh, sorry, I will recommend it, yes. But I wouldn't say that it's better than the official games at all. Not even close. Well, probably close, yes. Let's call it close. But not that close as people. Oh, I have to run here. Have to run for my dear life. Nice. Stage 10 clear. The end is near. Uh-oh. Okay. So we have a wizard here. Is this Hagrid? He's gonna tell me that I'm a wizard. The end is near. Take this holy water. It will help you. What holy water? You didn't give me shit. Also, who are you? Well, I guess that part is not important. But the term is soon drawn in. At least Soon's game do show the enemy name. That's a pretty good complaint, right? FDF1 hitboxes are whack. I don't know if they are that whack. They are not standard, but I wouldn't call them whack. Alright. A wizard did it. Oh shit. Well, death? Okay, I guess we can call Death a wizard, yes. I guess it will be fitting. I wonder which Death this is. As you know, funnily enough, saying Death at this point is pretty generic, right? We came to the point where having Death as an enemy is pretty normal. Obviously, it's not Castlevania's Death, that's for sure. But which Death is it gonna be? Well, I say that it's not Castlevania's Death, but it's not like I play the other Castlevania games to know that if Death looks like this is in one of them. So I really wouldn't be able to tell. You seen this boss? Damn. The final boss, Mighty Wizard Death. Yeah. But then again, why is this the final boss? I've been fighting against Death since I started the game. You know? Oh shit. Damn. I think it's from Portrait of Rin. Oh, so it is Castlevania. Hey Teffer22, how is it going? And thanks for the follow, really appreciate it. How are you doing? It's not? Alright. Yeah, I mean, usually, if I'm not mistaken, Death in the Castlevania game, well, in the classic ones, and I'm also pretty sure that in most of them, Death uses side attacks. It doesn't use magic. Or, well, not elemental magic, at least. I'm new at fun games. Well, this is a pretty good one. I don't know if it's a good one to start. No, it is a good one to start with. We'll say that if you started with this fun game, it wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Right? Wouldn't be a bad idea, I think. Then again, I'm not an expert at fun games. I started playing them. You started with I wanna kill. No. Wait, Camellia? You started with Camellia? Why do a lot of people start with Camellia? Isn't that like the worst idea ever? I mean, I'm not saying that you know, that you can't. I mean, you definitely can, but starting with that game is like starting with Toho UFO. It's Moe. It's Moe. Did I read that properly? Or are my eyes deceiving me? Are my eyes deceiving me? Or did I actually read that properly? That Camellia is Moe? Am I missing something? Are we talking about the same Camellia? Well, I didn't play it, so maybe it has a Moe part. It's stuck. You're stuck at stage 2. Well, I mean, the only thing that I can tell you right now is that starting with that game is a bad idea. And I didn't even play it, but I don't need to play it to know it's a bad idea. Because, well, obviously it's not your fault that you didn't know that, but Camellia is a game that is hard even for people that are experienced at fun games. So it's a pretty bad idea for it to be your first game. I only know that Camellia 3 has Colonel as boss and final boss theme is Shinki's theme. Is Shinki's theme? Damn. Someone really liked Touhou there. You know, it's fine. Obviously, if you want to, if you really insist on starting with Camellia 2, that's great, but I don't think it's a good idea. Because you might get burned out on fun games just because that game is incredibly hard. And it's a shame because there are a lot of pretty nice fun games that you can play. And, you know, that they are gonna be pleasant to play. Right? So, you know. Really don't think it's like starting shoot 'em ups with Daiyosho dead level. You never flame. I know what you mean by you never flame, but sure. You make them, they are pretty fair. You're saying two opposite things one after another. They are pretty fair, and then the next sentence is, if you make a mistake you instantly get punished. I don't think that's the definition of fair. I mean, I'm not saying they are mutually exclusive, but you know, they are a little bit opposite. A little bit. Not completely opposite. Like, if someone asked me what fair means, definitely wouldn't tell them that it's when you get instantly punished by making a mistake. If anything, that's the opposite of it. If you make a mistake, the fair thing is to get punished. Yeah, but what about instantly punished? They are different. We can say punish. You'll have better luck playing something like I Wanna Be the Dark Blue or I Wanna Challenge 100 Trials as your first game. I don't know what those are, but yeah, listen to Yami. He played fun games for way longer than me. Well, I mean, for way longer than me. So, you know. He's the one that knows what he's talking about, not me. So, yeah. You know, it might be a good idea to save right above the boss, since it will be an instant replay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why the save button is there in the first place. Okay. Oh! Chikiba. Oh, come on! Do you know any good beginner fan games to train on? Huh. Damn, even with a link ready? Damn. You guys never fail to impress me. You got a list? Boom. Oh, that's great. Yeah, he has a list. Wow, that hit me. You know, I'm having an intuition here. Not really an intuition, more like empirical observation that this boss is gonna be a lot about memorization, which I don't like. And I mentioned throughout the game that I didn't like stage 4 and stage 2 bosses because they relied a lot on memorization unnecessarily. But it seems like this one is doing exactly that. Wonder if... Look at this list. No, I didn't look at that list. Wonder if there is a list of the times Gabby was not being a stoner. Man. What a comment. I always told people green, dark blue, challenge 100 tiles and yellow star. That's a lot of colors, too. Seems like the games that are good to start are pretty colorful, aren't they? Also, you know, something is telling me that this guy has more than one face. Because, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, yesterday someone told me that this boss is harder than all of the game combined. Kinda like Solgreen on Boshi. So, I don't think... If this guy has only one face, I don't think that's gonna be hard enough. So, my intuition is telling me that this guy is gonna have two faces. I don't know if I'm gonna be right or not, but... we will see. My intuition is gonna be right as Reimu's intuition, or if it's gonna be absolutely wrong. We don't know. We can know for sure, but we can guess. Oh shit. Wait, was I supposed to dodge that from the center? There was a time when Gabby wasn't stoned. Says the stoner himself. Pretty rich coming from you, Riemann. I feel like the funniest part are those fire pillars that are literally impossible to dodge if you don't know that they are there. But hey, at least they are, you know, not that hard to memorize, so... and it's one of the first attacks, so... Alright, so apparently here we can't hit this guy. So we should just chill here. Oh, I didn't remember that happened 3 times. I thought it happened 2. Well, now we know it happens 3 times. Ouch. Also, for those who don't know how stubborn I might be at bosses like this, I will give you a couple of pretty interesting pieces of information. The first one is that I played Boshi and I beat Solgreen in 4 streams. So you can say that I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to bosses like this. So this guy can probably take me a lot of streams or not, I don't know. But regardless of the case, you can tell that I'm probably not gonna give up until, you know, a pretty long time. Yeah, 4 streams. I don't know, well, I don't know if it exactly was 4 or 3, but it was around there. And what I am sure that took me 4 streams is the Cheetah Man. Also a boss from Boshi, the hardest one in the game, but it's optional, so a lot of people don't really know about it or don't really care about it. I beat that one on 4 streams. So basically in total I fought 2 bosses in 7 streams, it will be, right? So if you're wondering if I'm gonna give up here, despite like this taking me a really long time, the answer is gonna be no. So yeah, you know, just saying that, so you don't have to worry. I know that I gave up in some games, right? Like some games like Wings of B, for example, I completely gave up there. But at least for now, I don't plan on giving up on this one. I know that this is just starting, so me saying this is a little bit pointless. I just want to let you know, in case it looks like I'm dying a lot and that I might be getting exhausted, and you might be thinking, is this guy gonna, you know, Cheetah Man's secret boss? It is. Dead? What do you mean by dead? The stream? The stream is fine. According to OBS at least. So I don't think the stream is dead, Rayman. Well, tell me if it is. Yeah, it might be that you are getting some buffering because lately Twitch has been working like shit for me. Not on streams, like, I mean, streaming myself, it's working fine when my internet is fine. But when it comes to watching streams, it has been working pretty bad for me. To the point where sometimes I have to watch streams on 480p. Because it's just impossible to watch them in any other resolution. Well, any other higher resolution, obviously. The stream might not be dead, but we are in. Yeah, Twitch is not just today though, it's been all this time, and it makes sense. Obviously a lot of people are consuming Twitch way more because of quarantine. That makes sense, obviously. But yeah. So sadly, that's something that is completely outside of my control. Well, I mean, if I was dropping frames myself, it would also be outside of my control. So you know what I mean. Oh shit. Boogers? And they drop boogers. Lots of them. Lots of boogers. Oh, aim schools. You know what? Oh shit. That's a dick move. I know that you probably didn't notice, but it had wind there. It attracted me to him. Didn't it? Consume the Twitch. I know, right? Yeah, something is definitely telling me that this guy has a second face. There is no way this is the only face. It definitely has a second face. So that's interesting. At least so far the first phase doesn't look bad. So, you know. At the very least, you know, because obviously most of the times that you have a multi-phase boss, it's a pain in the ass to do the first phase all over again every time. But at least this phase doesn't look hard at all. Sure, I can die here and there, but once I get actually used to this phase, it wouldn't be surprising if I could beat it consistently. Not yet though. Still gonna... Yeah, I got this suck pretty much. I got sucked by that. Or maybe I should say I got sucked to that. Well, both will be accurate. Only one of them sounds good. I'm surprised about those attacks, guys. They look intimidating, but they are incredibly easy. That one is also easy, but I fucked it up. Got sucked to death by that. That one is even more accurate. Oh. Oops. So, where is this death from? Because we apparently rule out that this was from Castlevania. Apparently, it's not. So, which death is this one? Which of all the deaths available out there is this from? Blissful Dead theme. He didn't look like this though. Good shit. Okay, so that one got pretty close, and that one got too close. I lost ties when he's around. Well, I'm pretty sure a Google search though will answer that. Probably, maybe. Now watch hordes of machines do Blissful Dead War. Blissful Dead. Oh, okay. Try to Google it, but the amount of deaths overwhelming. Man, too many deaths. Yeah, I mean, I can expect... Well, especially with a name with a game like this, I wanna find my destiny. Might not be the best way to search. I wanna find my destiny dead. Might not be the best way to Google it, that's for sure. Might as well watch the horoscope or whatever the fuck that word is pronounced. Just don't die. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Searching that will get you in a suicide watch list. That's right. Dawn of Sorrow. I don't know. Keep in mind, I didn't play Castlevania after Rondo of Blood. So anything after Rondo of Blood is completely oblivious to me. So apparently Death, if this is actually from Castlevania, he actually becomes a magician instead of just swinging his side. Damn, he grew quite a lot, huh? I cast fist. Nice cast. I can do that. It's an easier way to dodge. Oh. So here I can't shoot or do anything, so I just need to dodge. Oh shit, almost got killed there. Well, I could utilize this opportunity to hit him, but seems pretty dangerous to try to hit him in a pattern like this. Oh, but it seems like he won't stop until he's dead. So I'm assuming this is the last attack he has until the next phase. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if I'm pretty comfortable dealing damage in an attack like this, though. Alright, here comes the second phase. He has 15. I wonder if he has a third one. Shut up, Stoner. Damn, Tosk is salty. He just entered the chat and he's already salty. How is it going, Tosk? Playing the entire Castlevania series? Damn. Yeah, let us know. Second phase is timeout. I'm not sure if it is timeout. It had health. It had 15 points of health. Well, regardless of how much health it has, it's pretty clear that I can hit him if it's gonna be up there. Oh, whoop, okay. Should probably deal more damage in this phase, but if I want to deal damage, I'm gonna get hit by a school. Pseudo timeout. A pseudo timeout. That's an interesting terminology. Pseudo timeout. I wish I could jump there. Well, it's not like the damage will be better. Isn't pseudo pronounced like pseudo? I don't know. At this point, I kinda given up on trying to properly pronounce English because it fucking sucks. But yeah, that's something that Yami might know. You know, wouldn't be surprised if that was indeed the case. At least you don't have a comrade accent. You know, having a Russian accent is not something that it is. So wait, you pronounce it pseudo? Wow. Yeah. Every time I get more and more surprised at how shitty English is. I get surprised and at the same time I don't. Because I have experience from previous words that also don't make sense the way they are pronounced. So yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, English fucking sucks, dude. Makes you wanna gather comrades and go shoot Tsar. I don't know what Tsar is, but sure. What I know is that no matter your accent, with enough practice you can get rid of your accent. I mean, I could also have an accent while talking in English. That I might or might not have, but you can forcibly get rid of it with enough practice. Obviously, it's not gonna be easy, but you can definitely get rid of your accent when speaking on another language, I mean, right? Imagine knowing Russian history. I know. I know nothing about Russian history. If there was one country, not just one country, one continent that teachers in my school didn't give a shit about, was Asia. Asia was just completely irrelevant for all of my high school history class. Like, it was completely irrelevant all the time, and I don't know why, because the story of Asia is important. But apparently it wasn't important enough for my teachers. They all teach you about Europe and, you know, obviously our local history, but other than that, nothing. So it's pretty weird. It will be great to be able to know Asian history. It's a little bit too late though. I mean, to get back to school. I'm pretty sure that even if I went back to school, they will still not teach that. Yeah, no. You know Russian history, huh? You might know Russian history, but do you know Argentinian history? Huh? It's a pretty nice question. Do you? I wouldn't expect you to do. Yes, why the fuck will you care about Argentinian history, right? I mean, Argentina, just like a lot of countries from South America, have usually minded their own business for their whole history. Usually. There are some examples where they actually didn't do that. But for the most part, all of the wars and all of the shit that happened here happened inside of Argentina. Nothing outside. So, you know, guess that's the good thing, because that also means that whenever there is a global conflict, nobody gives a shit about us, which means that we are completely out of the conflict, so that's great. But yeah. At the same time, we are also pretty much considered a third world country for almost everyone, including myself, so I mean, what other way would you call a country where 40% of the population is poor, right? I don't think that fits in any other description other than third world country, so it is what it is. Nobody gives a shit about us, which is good for many things, but at the same time, we are not really living that high quality life that a lot of countries have. The same over here. Yeah, Mexico. Well, I don't know about Mexico, honestly. Isn't Argentina's story just Maradona liberating the country and saving the people? That might as well be the story, right? We had a war with the US and one with France that most French don't know about. Yeah, I think the only international wars that I can remember is a war where we were basically, I think, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not sure, but we basically had Brazil and Uruguay, I think, as allies against Paraguay. That's one of the wars that was a complete, obliteration because it was 3 versus 1. But the other one was against. Oh, it was alright. Well, yeah, basically we allied with Brazil and Uruguay, and we obliterated Paraguay for no reason. I don't remember any valid reason for doing that. But then again, wars are never start for a valid reason, so it makes sense. And then the other big war is obviously the known, well, I say known, but most people don't give a shit, the Malvinas Wars, which was against England, where we lost pretty badly. Like, pretty badly. But those two, I think they were the only two international conflicts that we were involved in. There were other times. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I don't think that's something to justify that, but sure. But yeah, I think those wars were the only two international wars that we've been at. All of the other wars were inside, like they were, completely within our territory and against ourselves. Well, basically civil wars. But yeah. So that's the reason why nobody gives a shit about us, and yeah, that's perfect. I feel like that's really one of the best reasons. Like, if you had to pick a reason to live in a country like this one, is that you're pretty much exempt from most global conflicts. At least, conflicts of political origin, right? Obviously, we are not exempt from the corona. That's clear. But when it comes to political conflict against other countries, no, because nobody gives a shit. And then again, nobody has anything to win if they pick us as their opponents. Like, what do you have to win? I mean, nothing. It's war went. Imagine not participating in almost every single war of Europe. 2054. It's an interesting number. So there are a lot of wars that people don't realize, but they are happening. I mean, do we need to mention the USA with the Middle East? A lot of people say that there are no wars like before. Honestly, the USA keeps fighting against the Middle East for, pretty shitty reasons. Well, not like there will be a good reason anyway, but there are still wars, and international ones at that. It's just that nobody gives a shit but you know, the USA is still fucking people up, just like they always did. So, you know. Yeah. I don't know how many other countries other than the USA are still at war. I can definitely tell you that the USA has been at war for a long time now. But again, nobody really gives a shit because, you know, what can you do? Are you gonna politely ask the troops to stop? Sadly, it doesn't work that way. So what now? I have to dodge from here, or is this aim? No, this is aim. Oh, and those are the sides. According to our analytics, we got a lot of money from 2054. It will be enough to finish our Doom project. Korea is still technically at war. I'm not sure. Realize you beat phase 1 quicker than before. I'm not sure, but it should be quicker. Like, basically I have to come to a point where phase 1 I can beat it consistently, because if I don't get to that point, there is no chance that I can actually practice phase 2. So I might have beaten it faster, but it's not enough. It has to be faster and more consistently. But you know, it's eventually gonna happen. Or at least I hope. Yeah, phase 1 for the most part is not that big of a deal. If I can actually shoot this guy while the skulls are flying, that's pretty good. Okay, so apparently here we get this ball that I'm pretty sure it's semi-aim. No, semi my balls. It's actually aim. Alright. Can you shoot the slimes? No. No, you can't shoot the slimes. They are not. Consistent practice. Yeah, violence, speed and momentum too. Yeah, those balls are perfectly aimed, but I don't think they have a trajectory. Or rather, the trajectory is linear. So you only have to dodge them at the start, I'm pretty sure. Or at least I hope, because if it's any other way, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. No, that was a bad shot. Danmaku balls. Yoku balls? Yeah, no, the Yoku balls will have to be more orange. I guess those first fireballs are more similar to Oku's balls. Pretty much. I also really wonder, because, you know, we saw it coming that this guy was gonna have 2 phases. The real question is, because you never know, right? Sure, it has 2 phases, but is it gonna have 3 phases? That's the real question. And we don't know. It's impossible to know until we reach the very end. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised either if it had 3. It's not the color that matters. What are you implying, bro? Okay, so I have to do these jumps. The last jump of this, like this. Like I have to go to actually no, not go to the middle. What I have to do is to stay on the ground just so I can avoid the net's attack, but not on the middle, because if I stay on the middle I'm gonna get instantly killed. So it has to be a little bit to the side, but at the same time I have to be on the floor just so I can jump as soon as it happens. I don't know why I thought that I could get in between those 2 dragons, but you can't. This is the part that we still gotta practice a little bit. So yeah, we can, okay. As soon as we know that we have to, oh, I forgot that the fucking slime spawned. I tried image searching there and got nothing like it. Okay. So this dead is an incognito. Imagine if it's not even its final form. I know, right? Alright. Oof. Wow, that was a lot of damage that I dealt. Interesting. I don't know what I changed there, because I used the same strategy that I always use. Well, it's just like Yami said. Like, you don't know exactly what's the pace that you gotta do to deal the maximum damage, because he has iframes. So there is one point where if you shoot too fast, you're not gonna damage him further. So there might be only a sweet spot. A sweet spot where you deal the most amount of damage depending on your pace with the shots. Gabi's pretty calm. Of course I'm pretty calm. I mean, I know that I'm gonna get stuck on this boss for hours and hours. So might as well be calm. If I wasn't calm right now, can you imagine the salt mine that I will be at the end of this? So yeah, of course I gotta be calm. Because, again, this is probably gonna be kinda like Solgrim. It's gonna take way longer than any other boss in the game. Choice the pain. And I'm a Touhou player, what do you expect? Expect you to play Touhou? Of course you do. Danmaku players already don't feel pain. They were molded by pain. Well, at least the slimes only spawn once. I thought they spawn multiple times, but no, they only do it once. That's pretty nice. Wow, nice. Nice teleport kill. But you know, what also reminds me of Solgreen here is that Solgreen also, the very first attack had screen shake everywhere. This one also has that on the first attack. Not so much afterwards, but on the first attack everything shakes. Also, that motherfucking wizard told me that like he was gonna give me some holy water to help me on this fight. The fuck is the holy water? I don't see any holy water. Or do I automatically have it equipped somehow? Isn't there a lot of viewers? Maybe. Well, more than usual, that's for sure. But you know, seems like I noticed that the 2 games that I streamed so far, well, the 2 games, more like the 2 categories that I streamed so far that has the most amount of people watching is Touhou and I Wanna Be the Guy. And it makes sense. I mean, these are hard games. So a lot of times people prefer to watch it rather than playing it. It's kind of like Osu, right? I mean, trying to beat a 6 stars map when you just begin playing Osu, it's impossible, right? If you wanna see a 6-star map, obviously the only way of doing it is by watching someone that can do it. Now obviously I'm not gonna compare this boss with a 6-star map on Osu, but you know, it's the same principle. I would like to play Osu again someday, but the more I watch, the more time passes, the more I just don't want to come back to Osu. You know, and it's funny because I usually listen to, you know, Touhou songs, like Touhou fan-made songs when I'm working, right? And a lot of those fan game songs usually have maps on Osu. And when you scroll down and see that every comment is, oh, play this in 1.5 speed for double time, lul, or something like, you know, Haku, Kizikan, HD, DTVs. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. I really don't want to come back to Osu. And you might be telling me, well, the community might be trash, but that doesn't mean the game is trash. Well, here's the thing. Osu is a game that is pretty much community driven, right? It's a game that you play maps made by other people. So Osu is one of those rare cases where yes, the community does affect the gameplay, because it's pretty much the gameplay is all about the community. So it's not like I can just forget that the community exists. Same for Exceed 3. Stage 5 boss theme. What about that? What happened with that boss theme? Oh, it's on Osu. Oh, that's right, it is on Osu. It's a pretty popular song on Osu. Today is the great final. I'm with Popcorn seeing this thing. Though you should watch your mouth, because saying that today is the grand final, I'm not sure, dude. I mean, I'm gonna try my best, but saying that it's gonna be today, it's pretty optimistic of you. Yeah, I obviously wish it is today, but you know, feel like you're being pretty optimistic right there, Mr. Tusk. What kind of dodge was that? Sadly, he has half health when I reach this part. That means that most of the damage has to be done in a pattern where most of the time I'm not even facing him because I'm too busy trying not to get fucked by everything else. But I mean, I can spam fast enough to bring him down before this, so yeah. So these are fully aimed. We learned that. Wow. Wait. Ah, fuck, the screen went dark. Shinser, I'm with T watching this damn. Intersect Thunderbolt? What do you mean by Intersect Thunderbolt? The name of the song? Or what am I missing? Intersect Thunderbolt? Gabi for life. Gabi for life, huh? Yeah. But the problem is I'm facing death. So it will be pretty hard to find life there. I'm gonna try. You know, there is also that Dodonpachi Saida Yosho song that is also mapped in Osu, the Imbachi or, well, Hibachi theme too. Everyone is like, whoa, Kukisi can pass this, XD. Because if it wasn't enough, something that the Osu community also has is that they love using XD. They love using XD. Like it's part of the culture. Wow. You won't win until it starts dropping frames? Damn. Are you really gonna say that? Damn. You're really gonna say that? Wow. I'm surprised. That's just 12-year-olds. Yeah, but that's not saying much, because Osu fanbase is 80% 12-year-old. So it's not like it really says much in that context. Well, you can tell just by reading the shit they say. But, you know. Well, the point here, in case I wasn't clear enough, is fuck the Osu community. And fuck Osu too. They are definitely not mutually exclusive. Alright. So here come the aim balls. Probably a bad dodge there, but it works. Works well enough. So here comes fire and schools. Jesus. Okay. Someone can pass Inbachi's theme in Osu, no go try to pass Inbachi herself. Guess how I could throw Shunko's timeout? I don't know. There are many ways. I mean, Shunko's timeout is already a piece of shit as it is, so not like you have to do much to make it quote-unquote cursed. Well, when I say it's a piece of shit, I mean that it's hard. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's well thought. Kinda. Consume the ring's grace. Consumes the ring grace. trying to figure out what that means. Consumes the ring grace. Shunko timeout isn't too bad. No, I will say that it is pretty bad. I mean, pretty bad in the sense that it's hard. At least I find it pretty hard. Well, on Lunatic that is. I don't remember the lower difficulties. But on Lunatic that one is a little bit crazy. Well, it's also crazy on the lower difficulties now that I remember. So yeah, I will say that it is a pretty tough one. Oh, I can... Okay, I can do that. If I want to deal more damage, instead of going to the left, might as well go to the right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Why didn't I think about that before? Would have been the best idea from the get-go. Oh. Hey Deus, how is it going? I'm here dying over and over again to the final boss. So basically nothing out of the ordinary. That's what I'm trying to say. If anything, this is to be expected. Oh, I double jumped too fast there. Should have taken longer to do that. That was incredibly close, but it worked. Gotta be careful with these schools, even though you can definitely redirect them. It's a little bit complex. So this part with the schools that come from below might be a little bit of a problem, because they have quite a big hitbox. The hell? The hell was that? Can I... Oh, I'm throwing holy water. That's where the holy water is useful. Sadly, you can only shoot it when he's down here. You can't shoot it when he's up there. Oh, what an asshole. Alright, but that was kinda... that was an interesting run. Purify that with the holiest of waters. Yeah, that's the plan. That's pretty much the plan. Oh. Seems like that last phase Now that I can see that the damage is only done by holy water and the holy water is pretty slow, now I think I can confidently say that that's the last phase. I don't think there's gonna be another phase after that. Or, let me correct myself, I hope there's not another phase after that. But we will see. Still don't know. And then again, if it's properly the last phase, we will definitely find out if it has another phase or not. But we will have to actually beat him for that. So yeah, might take a little while. The background final boss phases. That was so fucked up. I'm so glad that when I was playing the background, I never used any elixir that I had beforehand, so I could chug all of the elixirs available to tank that, like, addition. Yeah, that was crazy. If I didn't have those many elixirs, that final phase, that final fight, the entire fight would have been a mess, to say the least. What did he tell me? What did he call me? Death is talking shit, huh? Well, it's dead. So it makes sense that he's a shit talker. That was the wrong side? No. Damn, I could only hit him once. Unfortunate. Oh, I wasn't supposed to be close to him, I was supposed to be far. Alright, well, good to know. This boss looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty cool indeed. Oh, too fast. Is this death from Castlevania? That's a pretty nice question, Deus, but sadly nobody here has been able to answer that. Some say that it is, but they don't have proof. They were like, well, let me check it out on Google, and they were like, wow, there are so many deaths that I can't tell. So for now, we don't know. Though it is pretty possible that it is dead from Castlevania, but I don't know. It's definitely from a quote-unquote modern Castlevania, because it's definitely nothing before Rondo of Blood. So yeah, it's definitely from the most modern Castlevania games, not the classic one. Well, I mean, you can pretty much tell that by the quality of the sprite. That sprite quality is too high to be part of any of the old Castlevanias. And sadly the name is so generic because it's literally death. That is a little bit hard to Google. So yeah, my chat has not been successful in looking for the game that this dead is from. Yeah, we do assume that it's from one Castlevania game, but which one? That's the question. Oh, that was some pretty bad landing. Wow, the very tip of the tail of that dragon killed me. Wow. Huh. If you had any doubts that fan games perfectly tie the sprites to the hitboxes, well, now you know. This is the nightmare of any Danmaku player. Basically, in a Danmaku game, dragons like those, the hitbox will probably only be on the head, and the rest will just be decoration. But in a game like this, rules of Danmaku obviously do not apply. So yeah, that thing is gonna have its hitbox in the entirety of that sprite. Danmaku games are too flashy. Yeah, that's true. They are indeed too flashy. Though, you know, this boss fight is also pretty flashy, you know? I mean, look at all the fire, the lightning flying around, the screen shake. Yeah, this is definitely what I would call flashy. The problem is when I can't consistently beat the first phase, it's getting pretty hard to practice the second one, right? Okay. It seems like that fire that he spawns on that dragon face is RNG. Not the dragons are obviously static. But the fireballs themselves are RNG, I'm pretty sure. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to react to it. It's like this guy knows every element in the book. He throws fire, throws lightning, he throws acid. He really knows how to throw everything. Well, apparently this death is a magician after all. It's not just your average death. This is advanced death. So that was a pretty bad shot. Now, everyone is wondering where this death is from. But another real question will be, where is this theme from? I know that that is something that the README file says, but I would also like to know. Oh, he also throws ice. I forgot about that one. Definitely knows a lot of elemental magic, that's for sure. He also throws those weird energy balls. And of course he also knows dark magic. I mean, he's dead. That's the first type of magic that you will expect him to know. Oh, and he also knows wind magic, as we can see here. So he's a pretty well-rounded magician. Then we have this weird energy ball. Wait, what killed me there? Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 2 Battle for Survival. Alright. Thanks, Drano. So it's from Shin Megami Tensei, huh? Riemann will be proud. Riemann will definitely be proud. I kinda wanna play the Shin Megami Tensei games, but I don't know. Every time I think about it, I think that I should not do it. It's like a pretty weird, you know, contradiction, right? I want to play them, but at the same time I don't want to play them. The death is from Dawn of Sorrow. Oh, I see. Well, I guess Yami was right then. Well, good stuff. We solved the mystery. Definitely solved the mystery. So it seems like Death, instead of becoming a side thrower, he becomes a fucking magician in the later games. Well, good to know. Turns into a damn magician, huh? Oh. Death becomes Patchouli. I know, right? He was kind of a magician to begin with. I'm not that sure about that. I mean, in the first Castlevania games, he's literally just the Grim Reaper throwing sights around. I don't think that counts as magician to me. Looking at Area of Sorrow. Control gravity from her projectiles. but I don't think that's the kind of thing that would make me call someone a magician. I don't think he's controlling gravity. He's just, you know, manipulating his own projectiles. Oh, that tail is gonna kill me every time, huh? Man, I'm getting obliterated quite a lot. Pretty nice. I mean, it's not nice, but you know. That's interesting though that this game uses songs that are not from the boss itself. As you know, since this is from Shin Megami Tensei, obviously I'm not using a song from Castlevania. But you know, I guess it is fitting. It's a way to give the boss like a new spin. Getting obliterated is pretty nice, yeah. It is. I mean, while I'm getting obliterated, at least I'm getting decent attempts at this. Well, they're a little bit hard to see because, you know, me getting obliterated is also pretty distracting by itself, you know. Fuck that up twice in a row, huh? Did I get killed there? Really? By what? Seems like those dragons are way bigger than they should be. Those little dragons. And the worst part is that I'm getting to the point where I'm killed by patterns that are not hard. That's kinda like what we call you know, a mind block. It's pretty sad because there's really no reason to get mind blocked. I mean, it's not like I go to the end or close to the end, but I'm getting a mind block on the first attacks. Again, they are not hard at all. You know. Damn. The tail of that dragon is pretty interesting. Fuck that up. I keep screwing up that jump. Can you believe that? After so many attempts, now I'm dying over again to a pattern that should have been, you know, shouldn't have been a problem at this rate. At this point in time, I mean. But it is. or for example that one. I think that is just a sign that I'm getting, tired. Which makes sense. I mean, after all, I've been streaming for quite a while today. Not yet, a lot. It's funny how the boss has a random dead easy pattern in the middle. Yeah, well, that's also the case on the previous boss. The previous boss, the stage 9 boss, one of the attacks that last like 2 whole seconds, well, not 2 whole seconds, like 20 whole seconds. It was incredibly easy. By the way, I died to that attack that you mentioned. Even if it's easy, you can still die to it. And it seems like the most I try this, the least the amount of damage I'm doing. The logic will be like, the most you play something, the better you get at it. I'm getting worse and worse by the minute here. That's usually how I do with boss fights that are, well, not just boss fights, but runs that are pretty long. I usually play them a lot of times, and the more I play them, the worse I perform. The thin laser kills you. No, it's just that they stay on the screen for quite some time. I mean, they don't stay forever, but it's enough to kill you if you are there at the wrong time, obviously. Really? I guess the screen shake really makes me lose perception of space. I play Touhou the first or second run, it's amazing, and after that it doesn't go that well. Yeah, that's usually the case. It's mostly because your brain is kinda like trying to use shortcuts for things that you are like, yeah, I can do that. That might be a little bit complex to explain, but it's pretty much the fact that there are a lot of things that your brain thinks that they are already solved, so it doesn't pay much attention to them. So for example, the first time you play a Touhou game in the day, your brain is completely alert because it's the first time in the day that it plays. So you probably do the first stages pretty well because your brain is trying to save the information for those stages. But once it's saved that information, it's like, alright, I don't need it anymore. I don't need to pay attention anymore because I already saved the patterns. But the thing is, that's not true at all. Because those patterns, they are not just easy at all, so your brain is kind of like acting like, yeah, you can dodge that, but in reality you can't. You need to pay attention. I feel like that's what happens, and this is the same here. There are a lot of these attacks where my brain is like, yeah, I don't need to pay attention to them, you already got them, bro. But it turns out that I don't got them at all. But my brain thinks I got them. Yeah, I wouldn't call it exhaustion though. It's mostly like, when your browser has cache memory and it didn't find out that you're supposed to reload them again and still use cache memory, and it's using all data. It's kinda like that. After those 2 or 3 attempts, I get stuck on stage 1 or 2 for quite a while. Yeah. Again, as I'm saying, your brain is catching the data necessary to do that, so it's using cache data for that. But the problem is that Touhou patterns, most of them are RNG, so using cache for RNG is not a good idea, because you know, every time it's gonna be different, so your brain is gonna be trying to do shit in the same way every time, even though it shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I will say it's something like that. Still have a lot of health, motherfucker. Alright, I gotcha. That was the worst timing. EOSD issues RNG. Yeah, I know. Stage 1 shale. Yeah, I know. That's why UFO sucks so much. UFO is one of those games where even stage 1 is hard. So you can't even rest on stage 1. There are also other games. Funnily enough, I'm saying that, but Mountain of Fate, which is my favorite game, also has a hard stage 1. So I can't really talk there. There aren't many, now that I think about it, there might not be many Touhou games where stage 1 is really easy. But you have, you know, Touhou 6, Touhou 7, well, obviously Touhou 9. That's pretty much it, I think. All of the other stage 1 can destroy you pretty easily. On the other games, I mean, right? Did I find UFO stage 1 hard? On which difficulty? Because that's the part that matters there. Lunatic. Well, in that case I will have to disagree, but yeah. Stage 1 is still pretty hard to me on Lunatic. Play Ultra, huh? Just a rat. I wish it was just a rat. I will make everything a lot easier. Damn it. See, as you can see right now, even lasers like those are killing me even though they shouldn't. So it's definitely the problem that my brain is caching attacks that I'm still not perfectly doing, so you can cache them just now. Lol case stage 1. Yeah, it's definitely not a good one. idea is that stage 1 should be easy, and at the same time, well, it depends, because if you make stage 1 too easy and you make stage 2 harder, like a lot harder, it might not be that good of an idea. Almost fucked that one up. That's not how you do the fireball wave. What do you mean? How am I supposed to do it then? I feel like that method works. For the most part, at least. That clutch way you did. Does that count as a clutch way? I don't think that's pretty clutch. Maybe I didn't do it that way. What kind of jump was that? The spiral wave with the ice blocks. Okay. I don't remember it dodging it pretty differently, but I guess I did. I wonder how many streams this fight is gonna take me. I'm really curious. Is it gonna take as many streams as Solgreen? Is it gonna take less? Is it gonna take more? I wouldn't know. That jump. Damn, that was... I don't get it. How can my damage keep getting worse? If I feel like I'm doing the same thing. Am I really missing that much? Well, I mean clearly, but still pretty weird. And I still get killed by things like that, dude. Can you believe it? Man, the whole matching the entire hitbox with the sprite is a little bit of a problem, don't you think? Let's see what you have. Problem is that I'm still not really that clear on how to dodge this attack. See, like, what's killing me there? Like, there comes a point where matching the whole sprite with the hitbox has things like that. I can't even figure out what's killing me there. Yes, I know it's the school that is rising up, but it's almost impossible to see the sprite so precise when it has that much of a movement. School flame trail. Yeah, I know that. I understand that. I know that that's the reason why I die, but you can barely see that. And sometimes you don't even know which trail killed you, because there are multiple trails there. And they are all so volatile and so hard to see that you're like, well, yes, the school trail killed me, but which school? Right? That's pretty much the reason why I'm not a fan of matching hitboxes with sprites. It ain't a good idea. Unless the sprite is pretty static. But a sprite like that school wasn't static at all. A sprite like that one was. You know. It moves a lot. At least I got quite a bit of damage there. Yeah, that was probably the most damaging phase 1 that I done. Probably. Which is great. Okay. The problem there is that I can't jump from the schools in the middle. I have to jump from a little bit more on the side. And I probably should go on the right side, not on the left side. Okay. This it seems like I have this strategy for that fire attack pretty much learned. I still need to remember that the fucking ice comes from there, but the fire attack seems to be learned. Or at least I hope. It will be amazing if that was the case. Well, never mind. I guess not. And that was too soon. Just too soon. You know what I want to try? I want to try to increase the bit rate to see if it's still stable, if it's stabilized. I mean, it's not like I need to have a really high bit rate, but I just want to try and see how it goes. I mean, might as well try right now. Hacks? What you mean by hacks, dumbass? Don't lie to us. You know, you can check for yourself. I mean, after all, it's gonna be pretty easy to know after you see this performance. You will have your answer right after this attempt is over to see if I indeed did that or not. You will see. Well, you can see it right there. I don't think you need to see more than that to understand yeah. I guess that if I activated hacks after that, I'm the worst hacker in the world. And somehow, despite trying to do the same routine, the same patterns and everything, for some reason I still get that much damage. Like, you know, less damage than I should. Really don't get it. It should be consistent at this point, but it's not. Maybe the iframes are a lot tighter than I think they are. I don't know. It might be. It's not something crazy to think about. Ooh, almost slightly that there. Oh, come on, dude. Hitbox matching sprite. It's a pretty nice principle, huh? Hitbox matching sprite. Well, that was decent damage at least. You know, despite everything, I still like this boss definitely feels like, I know that saying something like this is completely unnecessary, but in the sense that it doesn't really say much, but I have the feeling that I've seen this boss before. And no, I didn't play Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. No, I mean this specific boss. The one in this game. But I don't actually remember it. So it's like my brain is telling me that I already seen this, but at the same time it doesn't remember. So maybe it's just one of those things that you think you saw because you saw something similar, but in reality it wasn't exactly this. I don't know. I would like to know. Mugen? No. I'm actually talking fan game wise, like remembering someone playing this boss. I'm not talking about the sprite itself, I'm talking about this boss fight. I don't know. Maybe I'm just... Maybe my memory is malfunctioning as always, and I actually never saw this. You know, now that I think about it, I haven't gotten to the part where I can actually throw holy waters to damage him. I couldn't get to that part again. Like, it was probably more than half an hour that I got to that part and I couldn't get there ever since. You stone? Maybe I am. Maybe that's the case. Still failing on partners like that. I mean, it's no mystery that I will definitely leave this for another stream, but the question if it's one more stream is gonna be necessary or more than one stream is gonna be necessary. I don't know. Really hope it doesn't take me as long to beat this as it took me to beat Soul Green. Because that's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass if it's like that. Just give good... Yeah, good advice. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's gonna be that way. Gonna be just like Soul Green, most likely. But you know, as you can see, dying on sections like those really tell you that I'm not sharp anymore. It's just not sharp. And that one can definitely be attributed to exhaustion, that's for sure. Man. See, dying to patterns like those, you really start thinking that you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And the only way to change this is by actually resting. And I will do that, don't worry, but I wanted to keep going at least a little bit more. It seems like it's gonna be useless to keep going today. Because when you're just tired, there is not much you can do. It's like every attempt is gonna be useless. Because it's not like I'm learning anything new, by the way. I know how to dodge all these attempts. I understand every single strategy on the first phase. So it's not like keep quote unquote practicing is actually gonna help me at all. If I was practicing the second phase, then yes, of course that will be useful. Pretty useful. But since I'm still struggling on first phase that I already know how to fully dodge, these attempts feel like a complete waste of time. Like, see, dying there, like that phase was useless for, like that fight. I mean, that fight, that run, if you want to call it run, that run was useless. I didn't learn anything. I didn't practice anything. So in situations like this, I feel like the best thing to do is to just, stop, right? Just stop, take a break, and on the next stream actually, which I will probably have energies to spend, that one we can keep trying. Because, there is that pretty interesting confusion where a lot of people think that because you play more, it will make you better. And while that's the case in a lot of scenarios, it's not the case in a scenario like this. Because again, practicing the first phase isn't really helping me. Like that death, for example. That death was just me being not 100% focused, and dying there didn't help me do anything. I already know how to dodge that pattern. So dying there is completely useless. And obviously, dying itself is not the problem. The problem is that all of these attempts are basically time wasted that could be used on the second phase. But since it doesn't seem like I'm on my 100%, I can't get to the second phase. So basically, playing this right now seems like it's just completely useless. I mean, I still want to keep going because at least I want to get once to the place where I was before, where I was throwing holy waters. Sadly, I don't seem to be able to get back there, at least today. Just don't seem to be able to do that. Huh. See, like, what's that dead? The hell was that dead? It's just nonsensical. And since it's nonsensical, it's also useless. It really is deaths like that that make you think that you should stop. Because they are so dumb. If at least these deaths were in hard patterns or something like that, you will be like, well, alright, I still need to practice this pattern a little bit more, but these deaths have the characteristic that they are dumb. So when you have dumb deaths like this, it's time to stop. I can explain that dead when Hitbots and Herbots love each other that much, that happens. And I wish something else happened instead. It seems like that's the predetermined action. And as much as I want to get to that holy water section again, it seems like I just can't. Not for today at least. And again, I've been fighting this asshole for 2 hours, so me being tired right now actually makes sense. It's not like it's nonsensical to think that I'm playing worse because I'm tired. It actually makes sense. No, I wish instead of normal holy water bottles, why don't you give me a holy water machine gun? I mean, water guns are so common within kids. Why don't you give me a water gun like the one that kids use, but instead of having common water, you just use holy water? Wouldn't that be the best idea ever? Like, come on, bro. You have a pretty easy tool and you're not using it. Instead, give me a sorry ass water flask. Alright. I'm gonna give this 3 more tries and then I'm gonna stop for today because it really seems like it's useless to do this any longer today. Just need to rest. That's 2. By the way, I think what also makes this boss fight so addictive is that you can place the checkpoint in a way where you automatically start the fight, so when you already start the fight, it's like you want to attempt it, right? Obviously you can just save the checkpoint for it not to be right above the portal, but yeah. It's practical. If you're actually trying to beat him, it's pretty practical. Alright. No. Okay. So, I guess that's gonna be it for today. Let me just see if it saved, but yeah, it should have. Okay, there it is. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this for the next stream. Pretty tired, but yeah. Hopefully I can beat it on the next stream, but you know, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be something that we can only find out by trial and error. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's see, who is streaming? Who gives a shit? Alright, no, I'm just gonna end it here. Don't move back when streaming. What do you mean by don't move back? Anyways, not attack instead of not like this. Huh. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I'm gonna try to kill this boss on the next stream, but you know, I just gotta get good. That is what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, take care and have a good one.